There are plenty of things to do in Star Citizen that suck up a great deal of time, with preparation beforehand, traversal, to actual gameplay. But sometimes for those shorter sessions, with less than half an hour to hop in game, it can get a little tougher to know what to do. I'm Forrester, and this gameplay video shows a short cargo hauling session, taking around half an hour to pop out with the Zeus CL and complete a contract. This video is intended to be more of a gameplay video than a hauling tutorial, although there is one available on the channel if that's what you are looking for. Some smaller portions have been sped up, such as travel time, and those parts are marked as such, but otherwise this video covers the full hauling session end to end. The original trip was around 35 minutes from start to finish, including time waiting for bugs to resolve themselves. So introductions aside, let's head out hauling. And after shortly waking up from bed, heading down to the ship terminal across the station, we're going to ×4 speed. I think you've probably seen somebody claim a ship before. There's the usual waiting for the elevator to appear before heading to the hangar. And as often happens, the hangar is not quite as normal. We're doing a bit of flying of the Prowler utility, which is still sat waiting in the hangar, as well as the Zeus CL, which I claimed for this mission. So some of the time has been spent resolving some of these bugs and challenges and trying to get things up and running. Finally managed to get the Prowler utility to head down, as at the same time choosing the hauling contract for today. And this seems like a good bet. A hauling contract for 92 SCU of stims from Magnus Gateway. So there's going to be a little bit of travel time involved. Magnus Gateway is a little bit out there, but that's alright. Just looking for a chilled out cargo hauling session here. And then the usual wait for the ship to come up the hangar. I did try to, beat the system by spawning in the ship before heading to the hangar, but of course, because the other ship was still in there, just didn't happen. It didn't work for whatever reason, so instead, we'll do it this way. One of the things I like about the Zeus CL is that the ladder is very accessible, just to hop on and climb up very near the cockpit straight away. I often see posts talking about the C1 Spirit versus the Zeus CL. I absolutely love the C1, but one of the criticisms I have of that ship is that it's always all the way from the back to the front, a little bit like the Mercury Star Runner, although not quite to that level, whereas the Zeus CL has got lots of options for how you want to get to the front, including that handy ladder. So while we're waiting for the hangar doors to open, we'll go ahead and set that route to Magnus Gateway. I'm actually just above ArcCorp at starting out for this, so it's going to be as long a haul as you might imagine, travelling all the way across Stanton to that Magnus Gateway, but that's fine. Still roughly in the kind of 30-minute zone for this gameplay session, which is what I was hoping to achieve for this medium haul contract. A short quantum hop to the orbital marker to move around ArcCorp, and then we're in line of sight of the Magnus Gateway to make the jump. And there we are in quantum travel. So we'll speed up the quantum travel, I think, rather than watching the number go down for the 7-minute trip or whatever it is. I will speed up the footage a little bit, but the quantum travel is quite a nice way to be able to catch up with things. I don't know, watch a video on the side or check your phone or whatever it is that you wanted to do to distract yourself from the distraction of life that is the game. One of the things I quite like about these cargo hauling contracts is that you're very much in control of what's going on. You can go at your own pace. You just need to move the boxes from A to B. The rest of it is up to you. There we see the Magnus Gateway coming into view. And I like the gaseous nebula. Looks good, I think. Looks good. So at this point we'll head into Magnus to land and collect the shipment of stims that's going to need to go to Everest Harbour. As usual, fly in at full speed and then slam on the handbrake by switching from nav mode to SCM mode. There's nothing else that seems to slow down the ship faster, so it tends to be my preferred method. It feels like it should be very jarring to the poor pilots and certainly to the poor components aboard, but for now it works and doesn't seem to have any negative effects, so my preferred solution. I've been given a medium hangar right here, so just navigating the ship, dropping the gear, and then heading into the hangar. One of the things I quite like about this ship and these hangars is that this little medical bay, it helps you to align yourself neatly. I am using the rear view camera here, but I can't really see much with it today. But by aligning myself to that medical bay, I know that I'm more or less aligning myself to the actual freight elevator. So it's quite a handy little visual marker for those that are looking for one. And then a short refuel of quantum fuel before heading to bring all of those crates up from the freight elevator. One of the reasons I really like the Zeus CL as a choice for this is that everything can be done very easily from the co-pilot seat. So aside from actually bringing the cargo up on the freight elevator, that's all I kind of need to do ground side. The rest of it I can just do from the co-pilot seat. That includes opening the doors, closing the doors, dragging things across with the tractor beam, and then flying the ship out can also be done from that co-pilot seat. So it's very handy, and I like that about the Zeus CL. There's lots of criticisms about it, and particularly about the cargo grid on it, but one of the things that I like about it is just being able to do everything from that one seat. Very, very handy. And there we have it, power on everything, and the tractor beam gets to throw some crates in the back. Fortunately the doors have closed through the process of powering on, so reopen those. I have a very handy hotkey on my verbal control panel that just lets me quickly open or close all of the doors, which for a situation like this where I'm safe and in my own hangar is very, very helpful. This is my preferred method of loading up the Zeus CL, is just flinging boxes all the way to the back and just getting boxes on the side next to the safety rail, whatever you want to call it, as soon as they get across to the side, and they fit, by the way, comfortably fit in those side areas. As soon as they're in those side areas, that kind of neuters most of the rest of the cargo grid, so it makes it much easier to load future crates. And for a situation like this with a medium hauling contract where you've got these larger crates, this is absolutely perfect. Now, I have chosen up in other gameplay videos, I would often speed up this footage of loading the crates. I've actually chosen not to do that. I'm leaving it at normal, regular ×1 speed. Can gives a flavour for how long this takes, and depending on your opinion, it takes absolutely ages. Or if you're something like me, actually this is quite a relaxing, fairly quick way of grab a box, throw it on, grab a box, throw it on. So for me, I'm happy with this. it'd be nice if the cargo grid was a little bit more workable on the ship. That would definitely be an improvement, but what we have is fine for me for these medium haul contracts. And there we have it, the last couple of crates to come aboard. And one of the things that I'm hoping to show with these shorter gameplay sessions is that really, as much as Star Citizen benefits, particularly from an efficiency point of view of having longer 1, 2, 3 hour sessions of doing the same things, actually it doesn't need it. You can hop on for 20, 30 minutes and do something in the verse, and often things like hauling or salvaging or mining feel like they should take a long time, but actually they don't have to. So if you are just enjoying that activity itself, it can still be worth hopping on and doing. Waiting for the hangar doors to open and drop off these crates. And this sort of proves my point about the Zeus CL, flying it from the co-pilot seat, doing everything from the co-pilot seat with the tractor beam as well. It's just convenient. So as the quantum drive is calibrated, we'll make the jump to quantum travel, and once again I will speed up that. I'm sorry if you're one of the purists who wanted to watch some quantum travel for 7 minutes as the numbers slowly go down to 0. Not really for me, so I'd rather, I think, speed this bit up and focus more on the actual gameplay. But again, this helps to break up the gameplay sessions. So granted, I did choose a route that took me really far out and across Stanton, so I'm spending more time in quantum travel than perhaps other routes would do, but even so, it does break up the gameplay a little bit. Let you, I don't know, check your phone, check in on Reddit or what the latest ship news is in Star Citizen, whatever you're wanting to do. So here we are now at, well, this is Hurston. I need to get around Hurston to get to Everest Harbour. So I could plot another route, but sometimes it's quicker just to look for an orbital marker and use that to guide you most of the way manually. It'd be wonderful when we have some quantum boosting and perhaps a little bit less reliant on always finding the perfect route. Sometimes just pressing a button and punching it and seeing where you end up could be the way to go. We shall see. We shall see. And I've managed to get around the planet, got a line of sight on Everest Harbour, and make the jump. So the purpose of this video wasn't really to do anything complicated or wacky. It was very much to show that actually, for those shorter sessions, hauling can be a viable option. And this is obviously a medium haul contract. Some of the larger contracts are easier or harder depending on your perspective, and some of the smaller contracts have much less time loading and unloading cargo. So for me, this medium haul contract is the happy medium because I can fly this Zeus CL and it feels very easy. Sometimes if you go a bit bigger and go whole sea, things get more challenging, especially because the whole sea is quite challenging to fly when it's full anyway. But smaller ships are also a viable option for those that have them. For me, this Zeus CL and the medium contracts it just works. It just works for me. A little bit of a heavy drift there on coming into land. Managed to arrest the speed, get the gear down. And I've probably got the gear down a little bit too early here, so I think I might use a little bit of boost just to get closer to the medium hangar. You have to be so careful doing that because it seems to slow the ship down much slower as well. But we made it. We haven't touched the sides, so that's perfect. And then once again using, this time it's the drone repair bay as my marker to say I'm pretty much in line with the freight elevator. Once again, refueling hydrogen fuel. It's been quite a lot of hydrogen fuel for this trip, about 7,500 I think. That should pale in comparison to the credits we earn from dropping off these crates. And then it's a simple case of unloading them and putting them on the grid of the freight elevator. This Zeus CL has a cargo grid that is 3 units high, which is a bit awkward. It's not the only ship to have that challenge, that problem, but what it does mean is that most of what I'm doing is on the base layer, because most of these crates are 2 units high, as are most crates in general in Star Citizen. But anytime I have got crates that are just a single unit high, like that 4SU crate to start with, that can go on top of this to maximize the use of the space a little bit more. All of the rest of this are just these 8 SU crates of 2 units high. And once again, could have sped up this footage to show it much faster. Probably looks a bit smoother if I speed it up. I'm still not managed to get my gamepad doing this smoothly, so I'm still using the mouse. I guess it's muscle memory more than anything. But I wanted to show just kind of the true speed of unloading the ship. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's kind of fast. I should have put a little stopwatch on to time it. But I think in general, I'm okay with this as kind of a loading and unloading speed for a ship of this size. Obviously, when you get some of the larger ships like the Hercules, it becomes much more onerous. But then I guess to some extent they're supposed to be more multi-crew ships, so you'd have more than one person loading, unloading. I don't know. I'd be interested to read your thoughts in the video comments. Are ship cargo loading and unloading speeds in game about right? Too fast? Too slow? And we'll put the whole sea to one side for that discussion, I think. Here we have it, almost unloaded all of that cargo. So again, this wasn't trying to show the most effective or efficient way of earning credits in the game. There are much faster ways and much more efficient if you have more than half an hour to spare. The purpose was just to show that even with half an hour, you can do something fun in Star Citizen. And for me, in this session, that was cargo hauling. So those crates have all been moved, we'll send them down, and all in all, if you net off the fuel costs, that was just under 100,000 Alpha UEC for my half an hour of cargo hauling fun. There we have it, contract complete. Perfect. If you enjoyed this video, you might press the like button to let me know I should make more of these 30-minute session videos. And if you're not yet subscribed, given that you got this far, you might like to do that too, so that YouTube will know to show you more videos like this in future. But otherwise, and as always, thank you for watching.